Today, we're going to be talking about something very important. We're going to be looking at the Bitcoin price and also looking at the recent developments in the stock market and Bitcoin's relation to the stock market and why my tune on things is beginning to change. As you guys know, I've been very bullish on Bitcoin since the crash. I've been almost continuously bullish for the entire time, and that was the right thing to be. The bulls were the ones making the money since the crash. And the past many months have been awesome. Recently, we saw Bitcoin pull back, and this lined up perfectly with the recent correction in the stock market. And then I realized, okay, this is getting interesting. The correlation between Bitcoin and the stock market is extremely clear. And what I want to do today is I want to discuss the price of Bitcoin, its relation to the stock market, and also discuss the long-term chart for Bitcoin and why this current cycle is looking a lot different than the previous cycles. All of this and more in today's video. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin Svenson, and today I want to talk about the price of Bitcoin and the recent developments in the stock market. This is an extremely important video, and I'm giving a bit of a warning in this video, actually. So overall, I'm looking at the CryptoWatch asset card list, and we can see that everything is, a little bit bearish today, so a little bit of sideways action, pretty much just following Bitcoin, not all too much going on. Now, looking at the Bitcoin chart, we can see that we have seen a pullback, and this pullback did line up with the recent correction in the stock market. As many of you guys know, I've been very bullish on the crypto market for a long time now. Since the crash, I've been almost constantly bullish, and that was the right play. Now, if I see a bearish indication in the stock market, I'm not going to ignore it. I'm not going to be blindly bullish if I see a bearish indication. And just to mention, in the short term, Bitcoin can do anything. We could pop back above this resistance, see a nice BART back up to the upside, reaching prices like 10.9K, maybe 11,100, anything is possible in the short term. And I'm not focused on the short term, right? I'm talking strictly big picture stuff in this video. Short term, anything's possible. Now, some of you are probably confused because I've been very bullish on the market until my last couple videos. And that is because we just saw this reversal take place over the last few days in the stock market. This is a new development for the stock market. Until the last week, we did not see this price action in the stock market. This is a new development. And guys, I'm calling the shots as I see them. I made this tweet recently. If you don't follow me on Twitter, definitely follow me on Twitter. And in this tweet, I said S&P bearish signals, Bitcoin correlation. We have new developments in the price action for the stock market. If this becomes a confirmed reversal in the stock market, it will not be good for Bitcoin and crypto. So I'm giving a warning here that we do have some bearish divergence on the weekly chart for the S&P, and this indicates a potential reversal point. This setup in the stock market is almost the exact type of bearish setup we saw in 2018. Bitcoin hit 20,000 as the S&P reversed from this high point, and the Bitcoin held the 6K level as the S&P ran up to a slightly higher high, and then we formed bearish divergence. We have higher highs on price, lower levels of relative strength in 2018, and once we got that reversal to play out, Bitcoin broke below 6K and ran towards the $3,100 level, which is exactly when the S&P hit a low. And then the S&P recovered, Bitcoin ran to 14K, sold off, and then ran back up to 10.5K, and then we reversed at the exact same time as the stock market, hitting 38.58 as we saw the major global market pullback. And then the S&P recovered and we ran up to 12.5K, and now we're seeing a reversal. A potential reversal. We do have higher highs on price on the weekly chart for the S&P and lower levels of relative strength. This is a bearish setup. The correlation between Bitcoin and the stock market is extremely obvious. Now, correlation does not mean you must do the exact same price movements. That's not what correlation means, guys. Correlation just means that the general trends are following each other. And if we're looking at Plan B's recent post, he said, now we wait until Bitcoin and the S&P 500 move up together. And we can see that, yes, there is a strong degree of correlation between Bitcoin and the S&P. Now, let's talk about something really interesting here. If I bring up the S&P and I go back in time, and I look at the S&P performance since the 2008 crash to where we are now, and I bring up the BLX, the Brave New Liquid Index, which is showing us the most history, the most exchange data for Bitcoin. This is from below $1 to where we are now. Looking at Bitcoin here, we can see that usually what happens is we have a major run up a pullback, a rounding bottom, and we run up again. From the 2013 high, we pull back, we create a rounding bottom, and we run up again. What has happened recently for Bitcoin? We hit a top, we pull back, we get a rounding bottom, and then we came back to the low point in the 3K range, and now we're seeing a lot of horizontal price action, much more than we've seen before. So the cycles here are clearly different. There is something very different about what Bitcoin is doing right now versus what it did here and what it did here. The cycles are different. And why is that? Why is this cycle now looking very different from the previous ones? Well, the S&P. Look at how much volatility we have seen. This is the most volatility that the S&P has seen since Bitcoin was created. Bitcoin has only experienced a raging bull market up until when it hit $20,000. And once it hit 20,000, the S&P started to see some crazy volatility. Now, considering this highly volatile area since the end of 2017, and you just click on the BLX chart in comparison, the reason why this cycle is different than the previous ones, why it's not just a rounding bottom and you run up, rounding bottom and you run up. Now we see rounding bottom, come back to the lows, more horizontal price action. The reason why this is different is because the S&P is extremely volatile. The global markets are extremely volatile. In this low at 3,100 and this low at 3,858, both took place as the S&P hit its low points as well. It perfectly lines up. And this cannot be ignored. And we cannot ignore the bearish signals in the stock market. We cannot ignore this, right? We can't just be blindly bullish. And this recent development that we've seen for the S&P and the stock market, and looking at the NASDAQ, we haven't seen the NASDAQ, the tech stocks, go this vertical since the 2001 bubble. It's starting to look a little bit toppy here. And this recent rejection that we just saw is starting to make me think that things could get bearish again. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to say, oh my God, Kevin, you were so bullish not too long ago. Why are you just going bearish all of a sudden? Well, guys, the charts are now showing me that there is a bearish indication. Very much like Chainlink, right? Remember not too long ago when Chainlink broke below this upward sloping parabolic trend line? I made multiple videos where I warned you guys of potential downside for Chainlink. Prices like $11.60, prices like $10 were discussed in my videos in this range, right? So when the bearish indications show themselves, I tell you, and the S&P is showing a bearish indication right now. And I'm telling you guys, I'm not hesitating to get on here and tell you guys what the deal is. So if this reversal plays out, if we do see a massive correction to the downside, it's not going to be good for Bitcoin. It's not going to be very good. We would very likely see a pullback towards the 200-week moving average, which would actually be closer to about 6,700. Now, you guys are probably thinking, whoa, what did Kevin just say? Did Kevin just say $6,700, 200-week moving average? Well, guys, yeah, if the S&P, if the stock market reverses here, absolutely, we could see prices like 6,700, totally possible. And no, the price would not be going down to fill the gap. The gap theory narrative, I think, is completely flawed. Bitcoin fills gaps based on natural volatility. Now, I want to look at the S&P real quick on the 30-minute chart. And what we can see is that we're starting to break below our local low. This is the top, our recent all-time high for the S&P, and we've seen a massive correction very quickly, and we're starting to actually breach below our local low. This is not very good. This is not bullish for the stock market. You can only imagine, guys, you can only imagine what people are going to do if this next weekly candle starts to trend down even further. You're going to see some panic, right? People are going to be panicking. The downward momentum is going to pick up, and it's not going to be very bullish, and confidence will be lost in the crypto market for the time being, and we could be seeing much lower prices. Now, again, I'm coming out with this video right now to warn you guys because of the recent developments in the stock market. I had no idea to know when the stock market was going to reverse, but I'm identifying it now, and I'm coming to tell you guys what the deal is, and there is a potential reversal coming. So what I've been saying to people recently is that you should make sure that you prepare for a potential downturn. Prepare for some downside. What that means is reduce your exposure to the market if you feel like you're overexposed. If you feel like that you're overexposed to the market, that you would be in an absolute panic if the market had a downturn, then you need to reduce exposure Just get prepared for a possible downswing in the global markets and in Bitcoin. None of this is financial advice, but I'm just telling you guys what my opinion is right now. And this is something that I need to say to you guys right now with this latest development. Of course, if the stock market starts to rebound here and we actually maintain these levels, then things can remain bullish for the market. Bitcoin would actually enter a bull market, right? If the S&P maintains this range and we actually trend up again, and we start to, punch back to the upside, right, over the next few weeks, and we punch back to the upside, back above that previous all-time high, which we're currently below, then Bitcoin could enter a major bull market, right? But I'm just giving you guys a warning that we do see a bearish indication for the stock market. We do see, higher highs on price with lower levels of relative strength. That is bearish divergence. That is a bearish setup. Things could get ugly here, and I'm giving you guys a warning. Don't get caught in the windfall, right? Don't get caught in this downswing, without understanding the possibilities, right? If you have too much money in the market right now and you're worried, just reduce your exposure. Get prepared for a possible downswing. None of this is financial advice, but I'm just telling you guys what my opinion is right now. Something else that I find very interesting is this moving average cross. I was watching Crown's Crypto Cave, and he discussed a very important, very interesting moving average cross, and that is the 21 EMA and the 55 EMA on the daily chart. When we got the bullish cross for these moving averages, the 21 moving above the 55, we went very bullish. And the next time these two moving average crossed was to the downside. 21 moved below the 55, and we saw a bearish correction. The next time we got a cross for these moving averages, when the 21 went above the 55, we saw some nice bullish action. The next time that these moving averages crossed, the 21 below the 55, we saw a major dump. And the next time these moving averages crossed was to the upside. 21 crossed above the 55, a nice bullish trend. And now we're seeing a potential bearish cross here. The 21 possibly looking to cross below the 55, which is pretty much the same exact moving average cross we saw before the major flash crash. So I just want you guys to be prepared for anything. Anything is possible when you have these type of conditions in the stock market. And we know that Bitcoin has hit major low points every time the stock market so far has hit a major low point. There is a strong degree of correlation. Bitcoin is very much based on confidence. And if the global markets are not confident, people will not be confident to speculate on Bitcoin either. So just be prepared for anything. I find it very necessary to give you guys this warning. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Be sure to sign up with the CryptoWatch platform, which is the platform you see me use in all of my videos. It's my preferred platform for charting and trading. It's free to sign up. It's free to use the trading features. Click that link below. You got nothing to lose. And if you want to support this channel, join the Patreon, get extra content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.